Okay, thank you for joining me for another one of my Fallout 4 settlement tours. And this time I'd like to welcome you to Lagman's Alley, my Hangman Alley thing. I ran into the bug where I could not move my spawn point, so I ended up just moving the walls instead so that I could spawn inside. Because as you can see, I never bothered to unlock the doors. Put little ladders up here so I could walk out if I felt an urge. I tried to leave the bottom level basically about the same. I cleaned up a few things, got rid of the roofs on these two buildings. Added a little chessboard there and a bed. Put a floor in here for the basketball court. And some functional water coolers, sink, little farm over here, and a couple extra workbenches, some shelving decorations. Nothing overly elaborate, trying to keep the bottom level rather basic, because when I first moved in here I had not actually intended to build it up too much. I just wanted to go to the roof and build myself a little single person base, but the more I did, the more I decided I rather liked it and wanted to build a whole town up here. I've got all of my little things, and in case I decide to make somebody walk the plank, my plywood all nailed together there. First floor, or the second floor here, we have our weapons and armor shops, a couple of workstations, some interesting improvised tables that I decided to use here, and my armor and gun stores, and filled these shelves with an insane amount of clutter from several of the mods, shelving mods, and of course the OCD decorator mod. And we come to our restaurant level. Please wait to be seated. We have several tables. Not all of them are in use, although I haven't actually invited any settlers here yet. I figured it was laggy enough as it was. I'm getting about 8 to 20 frames a second when I look toward the center here. Tip jar. I was pretty happy with how the letters stuck to the jar. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong button. And we've decorated in here my working fridge. And once again, I've hit the wrong button. Very, very over-decorated shelves here. And over here we have the salon with our working hair the hairdresser thing from the new Vault Tech thing, more of our mods. I took away the wall here and put in a new one to give the turret a little peep window to help protect in case somebody comes by over on that side. Not that they usually do, since the spawns usually come down there or over on the other side there to our left. Now on the top floor we have the rest of our stores, the clothing store over here with our dressing room, the hide tanning shelves there, the ironing board, and our dressers, cleaning boxes, so on and so forth. The clinic. If you come up here, then we have our area for the doctor to wash their hands, and the facial reconstructive surgery area. Nice little waiting room for everybody to rest on. Couple of ways up to go over there, but we'll get to that in a minute. Back over on this side with another clutter shelf. I loved using the tops of these windows as shelves. It's difficult to get everything to line up correctly, but it was, I just liked the idea of it. The ice machine over here is also functional water provider. And apparently a container. I never really paid much attention to it. Since the milk machine and several of the containers here are technically outside of the settlement area, they occasionally refill with things. And then over here we have our picnic area with some games for the settlers if anybody ever shows up. I might eventually invite people. More of my little improvised shelving area. The place for the traders to come, but they won't because this is well outside of the area where the settlers will actually use the things, so it doesn't really matter if I invite anybody here or not. Our general trader. Over here is where I put my what was originally going to be my room, the only room I had intended to decorate. And then we go over here. We have you can go, well, we'll go down here first. We have the railing that I put along the curved line here, and the little, whoops, go up here into the little dancing area for the settlers. Some chairs and where they can partay with the stupid joke there that I just couldn't think of anything funnier to put at the time. Unfortunately, these two things here do not actually exist. Whoops. They appear, but they are insubstantial and you can just walk right through them. Which is also partly why my floor doesn't quite line up. I wanted to lower this thing, but unfortunately it's attached to the entire building. And so if I did that, the whole building would move, and everything didn't line up very well. It would take too long to move everything else that would go along with it. We have more turrets lined up everywhere, statue there, and we'll get to that in a minute as well. Over here we have the other of these. I put a light inside to keep it brighter because I like this settlement to be bright. And as you can see, we're getting close to the nighttime. Here we have a little 4-person apartment building for everybody to use. You can get up on this thing from either side. No stairs needed. And up on this room we have these little tents. You can use them as a bed, or I've actually put a sleeping bag inside each one of them, so the settlers would count them as a bed even if they won't actually come up here and use them. Of course, we have to attract our kitty cats to keep the happiness up there, and we have I probably would have gotten rid of it, but we still have the mortar here, so I figured I might as well use it as a table. It takes so long to get through all of this. Lag from everything. But at least we have a little fun. And my ramp over to this rooftop with another tent. I love these little ramps from a bridges mod, expanded bridges or something to that effect. I'll have all those listed below. And this bridge came with some settlement objects expanded, I think it was. Threw in a couple of ladders here in case I fall off. Mostly this was just to cross the street, and I don't know, I just wanted a reason to use the ladder. Gives me a way to look over here. Over at the boat over there, although it hasn't been refilling very well. A couple more tents down here. Over here we have a couple more turrets and one of my plywood bridges. I really love the plywood for these cheap little settlements. I just like the look. We have a boxing ring and some places for people to sit and watch that. Ladder to go back over this way, up and down. Had to get over the little hump there. Then over here we have the bowling alley set up. And the weights. A little exercise area. Another little, they use the barn pieces here. You can open those, but one of our little vending machines. And then put some sleeping bags and a couple of nicer beds there. And then over here, I've actually put ladders to come down so we can visit our neighbors, the super mutants over here. Not that any of them are programmed to use our ladders, so we don't have to worry about them paying us an unexpected visit either. I've actually stacked two of these light posts together on top of each other using, one of them was the oil lantern that came with the Wasteland Workshop, and the other one was a street lamp from the Settlement Expanded. That one was electric fluorescent, which gave a real nice bright glow, but it didn't actually glow, and it looks broken, as you can still kind of see the glass in there. But the oil light one from the Wasteland Workshop actually glows because it has a little lit candle in there, which I really liked. So I stacked them together in most of the places around here. We have another little rooftop place for everybody. They can sit and watch where people can fight. And then over here there's another way down for the other super mutant neighbors that we can visit over here. Down here, I'm actually going about this backwards, but we have the showers and another little family's apartment with bedding for 4 people. There's a sleeping bag embedded in the floor, so it looks like somebody's sleeping on the floor. And then down here we have the signs for the showers and another ramp up to the rooftop. I love tilting these ramps. It's just so much fun. And then we have our restroom area, the women's and men's sides, which are, of course, like in the modern world, not very equal. Then we have my broken ramp over to this side, where we come back here. And that's pretty much it. This was Lag City, because I tend to average from 8 to 20 frames a second when I'm looking toward the center of the settlement. Isn't that lovely? Even though I get 40 to 60 most of the rest of the time. But I've just kind of seriously over-decorated this place. But thank you, I hope you enjoyed it, and I've listed pretty much all of my mods, or building mods anyway, below. Have a good one.